I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future, and instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be. Hiring decisions should be hard. As entrepreneurs, we crave momentum. We are driven by that feeling of moving forward, creating progress, making things happen, changing the world around us, and improving it in the way that we see fit, where we think we should change things. And if you are a driven enough entrepreneur, sometime in your career, you get to the point where the momentum you can create on your own is no longer enough. And you have to go out and find other entrepreneurial personality types just like you and me to join your team and help it grow, help it do more than you can, help it do more than you can do on your own. And when you bring a team in and you involve them and you incorporate them into the business, they will help you achieve heights that you can't on your own. This is just math. On our own as entrepreneurs, we can accomplish only so much. When we learn how to manage a team, how to motivate a team, and how to hire the right team, everything in our entrepreneurial world changes. You know, I've said this before. It's like becoming Iron Man. You know, Iron Man gets into that suit, he hits the button, and his entire body is coated in this, protection. Every sense, every capability he has is expanded. He's stronger, he can do more, he can fly, he can do, incredible things because he's Iron Man. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, and you build your company around you, and you put the right people in place, and you have a team that you trust of true believers, you will feel like Iron Man. Because you get up in the morning, and on a daily basis, your organization is accomplishing exponentially more than what you could do on your own. Now, I introduce this podcast this way because that is why, to me, hiring the right people is one of the most important things we do as entrepreneurs. And here's what happens to so many. We're growing our business. We start getting some momentum. We start getting some traction. We start selling. We start getting overwhelmed. And we finally hit that place where the decision has to be made where we need to hire someone. And then we want it to be easy. Then it's like, how fast can I hire someone the easiest way possible? And what do most entrepreneurs do? They look up and they say, who do I know? Who's proximal to me? Who can I ask to fill this position right now, like tomorrow, like yesterday? And that's why so many entrepreneurs end up hiring friends or friends of friends or family members or people who are near them or someone who lives on the street. And that is way too easy if you expect things to work out for you long-term as an entrepreneur. Now, I will give you this warning. Every once in a while, somebody does that and they get lucky. You have a friend or a neighbor or somebody that's recommended to you, and you hire them on the spot, and they come in and they are the exact person you needed. They fill in the gaps that you have. They help you grow the company. But I'm going to tell you something. That is 100% luck. And I stopped trying to run my businesses based on luck a long time ago. I like the odds. I like to play the percentages, and I want the highest percentage chance of success. So we're going through this right now as a company. We're actually in the hiring process right now. So I want to share with you what I mean by hiring decisions should be hard. When you're hiring someone, you should always be making a choice out of the absolute best candidates available. And if you're not choosing from 3 people who you would give the job, then you don't have the right sample size. You're not looking at the right people. You're not talking to the right people. Let me share with you a quick example. Like right now, our company is kind of exploding. And we have several open positions, and we've just filled several open positions in just the past few weeks. We're looking at several more. And one of those is a camera person to come in, work with me a few days a week, and start putting out some documenting the journey type videos. The same thing that Russell does, the same thing that Grant does, the same thing that just about everyone's, Brett Campbell, my friend in Australia, is doing. And we want to mirror that. And I want to have a photographer, a videographer and editor with me a couple days a week. Now, that is a hard position for me. It's difficult to hire that position because it's someone who's going to be around me, and I'm insanely sensitive about having people around me. I'm sensitive about having people in my space. I'm sensitive about how people feel and what their energy's like. They have to be a cultural fit to me. I have to be excited about them and who they are, and excited about seeing them succeed. And so this is not an easy process, but Leanne, who works with me, is amazing at going out and finding people. And what she's done is she's made this hiring decision really hard, because in the past 2 days, I've had 3 videographers here. And again, remember, these are people who are up close and personal. They're in my personal space. We're sharing space a lot of the time. If they're going to be my videographer, they have to direct me. They have to say, hey, come back here, do this again. Open the door again. I need to get you walking into the room. So I have to be really intimately comfortable with them. And here's what Leanne's done. She's made it so it's a hard choice between the 3. Like, legitimately, an incredibly hard choice between the 3, which for me is exactly where I want to be when I'm hiring someone. I want to make sure that I have 3 people in front of me that if you said you have to take and then insert one of the 3 names, I would be okay with it and I would be excited about it. Because then I know I'm looking at 3 candidates where we're getting good comparative information. We're looking at the right things. I'm excited about all 3 of them. I know we followed the process right. And then here's what happens. When I select one of the 3, my confidence level is going to be off the charts, because I know we compared them to people who were that good that I would have taken anyway. And that's going to help us commit to this person. And that's how you know that you are going to be successful with somebody who's in a new position. Now, let's be honest, processes can fail. Sometimes people will wash out, but what we're looking for is the highest percentage chance of success. And the highest percentage chance of success is when you're interviewing 3 people who all could take the job right now, and you would be okay with it. And there's no shortcuts around this. In fact, let me share with you a quick client story. I have the privilege, and it is like an insane privilege, of coaching Mariah Cause and Megan Mims. But Mariah runs the company, and she's just this incredible entrepreneur. The 2 of them help entrepreneurs put their products on, or put their skill sets online, put their talents online. They work with entrepreneurs who have a hard time communicating what they do online, artists and healers and teachers and people who do things that are completely out of the norm. And I love working with Mariah and Megan because they're 2 incredibly talented entrepreneurs, and they are hiring right now for that key operator role, the person who's going to really help them in their company. And what happened was they had a person apply who they've worked with before, and they really wanted to work with her. And it would have been easy. They could have just said, oh, she's back. Let's just take it. This is going to be easy. And my plea with them, my instruction to them was, go continue the interview process anyway, and go drive it until you have 2 more candidates that you would be excited to work with, and compare them to her, and make sure that you're committed. Here's why. If you just hire her and you don't compare her to anybody else, and this is for you too, if you're thinking about hiring somebody that you've hired or worked with before, if you just hire someone and there's no comparison, here's what happens. Invariably, in the first 90 days, there's going to be an issue. There always is. I mean, we're human beings. We're random variables. There's just too much going on. There's always going to be an issue. And if there's an issue in the first 90 days and you go through a hiring process where you've compared somebody to 3 people, your commitment level to that person is going to be much, much higher than if you didn't. And when you interview them and compare them and sell yourself on them by going through the process, you're actually going to show up in a much better way for them. It modifies how we behave as entrepreneurs when we have a higher level of commitment to the individual that's sitting in the seat. And so Mariah and Megan went through the process. They actually, they could have made it easy, but they took the time, they interviewed people, and Mariah left me a message and she said, hey, we've made the decision. We're going to go with the person we originally thought we were. We went through the whole process. And I thought she was going to say, we could have saved a lot of time. And then she said, and we see the wisdom in it. I'm paraphrasing, but she said, we see the wisdom in it. And it really changed how we looked at this. And our commitment level today to the person we're bringing in is so much higher than it was when we were just thinking, hey, we should bring her in. And that's what you're looking for. You want to go through the process so that as an entrepreneur, you're committed to the person because you went through the process and you proved to yourself that they are the best choice at the time. And that helps us stay in the game, remain committed, and move them forward. So when you're hiring, go through the process, put an ad out there, put enough information out there so you get a pool of applicants. Screen those applicants for cultural fit. Make sure that there's somebody you want to work with. Once you've gone through your cultural fit screening, start doing final interviews with them. Whittle it down to the final 3 people. And when you have those last 3 candidates, do your final interviews and make a decision. And what will happen is you will dramatically increase the odds that you make an effective hire. You will dramatically increase the odds that you and this person get along long term. And because you've gone through the process, you will dramatically increase your commitment to the person you're bringing on your team. And if you maintain this as you grow, if you continue to always require 3 qualified applicants, that you would take any one of the 3, as your team grows and more people get involved in hiring and there's more positions available and you expand your company and you grow, then you will have the opportunity, or you will have the process that will ensure that you consistently get the right people in every position, or the right person in every position. Because in far too many organizations, they try and make hiring easy. They take shortcuts. They hire whoever's there. They bring the person in who someone knows without comparing them. Hiring decisions should be difficult. Don't try and skip steps. When you're bringing in someone who's going to work in your organization, represent you, wear your company logo, even though we don't wear a uniform, anyone who works with you represents your organization. So put a little time into the hiring process, because when you put time into the hiring process, you save so much time in the onboarding and working together process. When you take shortcuts on the hiring process, you will always spend far more time correcting those shortcuts on the back end. Hiring decisions should be hard. If you're an entrepreneur who's ready to build a team, if you know that you are ready to start expanding the team you have, if you know there's more opportunity out there than what you're really showing right now, if you know you can do more, create more, help people with more, then I want to talk to you, because we help entrepreneurs build teams and scale multi-million-dollar organizations. And if it's time for you, if you're ready to understand the process to show everyone in your company where you're going, the path to get there, and the scoreboards that show them whether you're successful, we want to help you do that right now. Go to billionairecode.com, answer a few questions for us, and we will give you an opportunity to book a call with a member of my team so you can understand our programs. Because if you're at the point where the opportunity is bigger than the infrastructure you have today, then we can't wait to talk to you. billionairecode.com.